Debt. You want a way out, but most companies only deal with certain kinds of debt. At Family Credit Management, we'll consolidate all your unsecured debt from all your creditors in our debt management program. Get your free quote today. Debt. You want a way out.
My name is Letitia Griffin, and we are back another week just to talk to you about your finances, debt, credit issues, any types of things that you may have going. So any problems that you have with your finances or debts or questions that you need answered, just feel free to give us a call. We're here for the next few minutes. You can reach us at 312-738-1060. And if you do not get the opportunity to call in, or you have questions throughout the week and you need to talk to someone, I do want to let you know you can reach out to a counselor. Guess what? You can reach out to a counselor, and you can reach them at Family Credit at 800-994-3328. Now, there's a website there. I want you to pay attention to it, and it's Family Credit's website, because on that website you can actually go and you can chat live with the counselor. So that's why I want you to remember that. And if you are interested in their website, again, familycredit.org, chat online with a counselor, answer any questions that you may have regarding your finances. Why do I give you that website? Because guess what? You never know where, a lot of times we don't know where to go to get the help that we need. And they're a great resource. The counselors are standing by to help, and they have such a wealth of knowledge about all types of issues. So that's where you need to go. If you need your questions answered, you can get the advice you need, find all types of resources to fit your situation, and that's what they're there for. So we always talk about a lot of different issues that affect people, and I do like to just tell you about some situations that, a lot of people ask me about, questions that people ask. So we try and bring those to you as well every single week. And what I want you to keep in mind, though, is that everyone goes through different issues, and that's what we're here for. So if you've got questions, feel free to reach out. So today, I have been dealing a lot with a lot of clients that are either trying to get a home or trying to improve their credit. And so they all have issues or questions regarding the same thing. So we're going to talk about a little bit of those today and go over what exactly is needed for you to get your house in order. Also, we know that the holidays are fastly approaching, and before you know it, it'll be Black Friday. So we'll talk about some different tips as well for getting through the holiday season. So, but first, like I said, let's go over those pressing questions that people have been asking me all week long. And so that's why we want to start talking about how to get your house in order. A lot of people that are owning right now, they're finding themselves struggling either with trying to know what to do with their home. Sometimes people are struggling trying to get their home fixed up, trying to pay their bills, their credit card bills, their utilities, and they can't keep it all together. So that's what we want to go over really quickly. So first thing though, when you have a home, if you own a home, it is very important that you know the value of your home. So I do want you to take a quick search, maybe see what, if you do a Google search or an internet search, online search, and see what the value of your home is, because you bought it for one price and you need to know that it's worth a little bit more right now. And the importance of knowing what your home is worth really does play into helping you with your debt and keeping things together as well, because it's part of building wealth. And in order to build wealth, a lot of people will piggyback off of or use what's called equity. And the equity really just is the value of your property versus the amount that you actually owe, let's say on your mortgage or anything like that. So a lot of people can actually turn to and use their equity as a nest egg for things that come up. So you want to be always looking at ways to improve the equity or improve the value of your home so that your home is worth more. Especially now in the city, you see a lot of things that are happening throughout the neighborhoods where there are new businesses coming aboard. There are renovation projects going all the time. And those things are going to help build the equity in your home too. So you want to look at that and think about what you can do to help build some equity. So we'll go over a few quick tips for building equity in your home really quick. But first we have our first caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, I was just wondering if I should make my daughter an authorized user on my credit card.
Ooh, really good question. So, how old is your daughter? It looks like we got disconnected. But if you're looking at making your child an authorized user on your card, of course, remember if they are at least 18, between the ages of 18 and 21, they do need your permission to get a credit card a lot of times, unless they can prove that they're independent and take care of themselves. So they will need your help with getting started with credit. And adding your child as an authorized user can help do that as well. But you want to keep in mind that whatever happens on their account will reflect on their credit report too. And adding them as an authorized user is a lot different than adding them as joint as well. So with the joint, you're actually saying that they have responsibility on the card too, meaning, hey, if you add them as joint, that means that they can use the account just like they want. They need to make sure that they're making payments on it, and you want to make them responsible for it as well. Adding them as authorized user, then they're not really responsible for the account, for making payments, for keeping up with it. But you can also teach them with that too. Let them know whose responsibility it is to actually make sure that those payments are made on time, which it should be theirs, because you're doing this in order to help them and to teach them about credit too. So adding them as authorized users can help in that situation. Also think about the flip side of that again. You add them as authorized users, something goes bad on your account, now it goes bad on their credit too. So if you're going to be doing it, make sure you do it for a set amount of time, and you know how to add and remove them as authorized as well. When you want to add in someone as an authorized user on your account, you do want to make sure you call that creditor and let them know this. Now, they're going to ask you some questions. They're going to ask a few key questions too. Now, if they ask questions such as the person's birth date, you want to make sure that they ask that. And if they ask for any parts of the Social Security number, you know that that account is going to be reported on the credit bureau report. Ask them, make sure that they ask those questions. And if you don't know, you can ask the creditor, like, okay, I just added my child. Now, will that reflect on their credit report too? You want to make sure that they know that, because even if you add them as authorized, a lot of times that does not mean that it'll go on their credit report too. So make sure you ask the creditor those questions when you check in with them to add the person to the account. So again, we were talking about looking at your home and using it as an asset to build wealth. Again, the way to do that is to make sure that you have equity in your home. And equity is the difference between what the value of the property actually is and what you owe on it. So let's say if you have a home that's worth $100,000 home, but you do not have a mortgage on it. That means you have $100,000 worth of equity that you could pull out of that house and convert it into cash and be able to do whatever you need to on that account, as long as you make the payments. Now, let's say you have that same home that's worth $100,000, but your mortgage is $100,000 on that. That means, guess what? You do not have any equity in the home. But as you pay down that mortgage, that's how you build the equity. So you may want to know a few ways to build equity really quick. So if you're looking at building equity, one thing that you can do is pay more on your mortgage each and every single month. That's going to allow the mortgage balance to go down, and you'll be building more equity. If you ever get into a large sum of money, or you want to pay more on it, feel free to do that, because that's just going to build more equity. And if you get to the point where you can pay off that mortgage, of course, now you have that whole asset, which is going to just show that you have all that equity in that home, and you'll be able to use it as long as the property values stay up. Another thing that you can do is you can refinance your current mortgage into a shorter term. So if you bought a home, you have a 30-year mortgage, and then you were to refinance it into a 15-year mortgage, of course, that's going to cut down the time that you owe on that debt, and you'll be able to build equity a lot quicker. Another thing that you can do is look at doing some improvements, renovate the inside, because those things that you do, they affect the value of your home, which means that, guess what? There's more equity. So if you're thinking about changing the floors, pulling out that carpeting, opening up certain rooms, you want to make sure that you are looking at how much value will that add to the home for you to actually do that. Looks like we've got another caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi. My paycheck is getting garnished, and I've already filed bankruptcy about 3 years ago. Is there anything I can do?
Well, if you are experiencing garnishment, and you know that it's garnishment, you do want to get legal advice and see what you can do to get that stopped. There's a couple of different things that you can do, but first, you really do want to make sure that it is an actual garnishment. The reason why I say that is because sometimes we get certain debt, or we get into payday loans or installment loans, and we actually give our creditor permission to take money out of our paycheck, and that's called a wage assignment. So you're signing a notice in with all of the loan paperwork saying that I give this creditor permission to contact my employer and take money out of my paycheck. So you do want to make sure that it's an actual wage garnishment, not an assignment. And the way that you can tell the difference, though, because if it's a wage assignment, you've given them permission, you've signed those forms, and you can take that permission back. But if it's a wage garnishment, that means that it has gone through the court system, which is why you do want to seek legal advice. And for something like this, something that big, I do want to let you know that you can reach out to a counselor, 800-994-3328. Ask any questions about that and find the help you need for that situation, because that is a serious situation. Anytime your checks are being garnished, that takes away from the amount of money that you're putting into your household. And that means that your paycheck could be short. That means that your bills will fall behind. And guess what? When a wage garnishment starts, sometimes you don't even know about it. Your employer gets the notice, yes, but a lot of times you don't even know about it, and then you just end up with a short check. So if you have those debts that are getting out of hand, that are becoming too much for you, then you do want to reach out for help. And there's just some ways that you can do that. Reach out to a counselor again, get assistance, or contact the creditor directly before it even gets to that help. And if you do not know how to talk to the creditor, or you feel like you can't get anywhere with them, that's what the counselors are all standing by for. And you can reach out to them, 800-994-3328. A couple of different things, a couple more different ways to look at the equity and to improve the equity in your home. Again, you want to think about, we talked about renovating the inside because that's going to add value. And the next thing you want to do is sometimes you just wait for things around you to change and property values around you to change. And again, we know that in the city, things are changing here every day. There's so many different properties that are going through renovation, new businesses that are opening up. You've got businesses coming to different areas. You've got restoration projects that are going on, art projects that are going on all over the city that are adding value. And you want to pay attention to that and see how it affects your property value when it comes to your neighborhood. Again, a quick way for you to do that, look at the different search engines that are available online. Put your address in and just see what value comes up for your property. You can also contact the tax assessor's office in your area and see what they say about your property value as well. Now, you should be getting a notice each and every single year with how your value is changing, but you can also look at it by contacting, like I said, doing the searches online. Another thing you can do is look for a realtor to give you a comparative sales analysis as well, which will just tell you about all the homes that are in your area, what they're selling for, how they're made up, and how it relates to your individual property. So those are some things that you can check out. And then you want to pay attention to how your house actually looks. Does it have curb appeal? Think about those things when you go outside, making sure that your grass is cut, that things are in order, if you've got flower beds that are added, those types of things as well. If there's private fencing, all of those things add to your curb appeal and they affect your value. So pay attention to that. Also pay attention to the houses around you as well. And keep in mind that if you don't take care of your home, of course, there could be other fees that you get from the city as well. And you don't want that. You want to avoid all those types of extra fees, extra expenses that come along with it. And all you have to do is keep up with your own home. Looks like we've got another caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, I was wondering, should I take out a 401k loan to pay off my credit card debt?
Okay. And some people are able to do that. If you've got a 401k, and it's really up to you to decide whether that's an option for you, but you want to pay attention to all of the signs that are out there. So if you take a loan from your 401k, first of all, you need to see if there's what the penalty is for you doing so. Now, when you are withdrawing from your 401k, usually you're allowed to do that if there's a hardship emergency. Other than that, you will face a penalty. And if you feel that you can live with whatever penalty that is, and it will allow you to pay off your debt, then sometimes you may want to consider that. Another thing that you can do, contact your creditors directly to see what options are there for you as well with paying off your debt. And then you may even want to look at contacting a counselor, Family Credit, to help you with that. Look up some different ways that you can pay off your debt. The counselors can help you figure that out as well. One of the methods is the snowball method, which, if you've done correctly, will allow you to get out of debt with as little time as possible. It'll take a few years, but if you're diligent, you modify your behavior to do it, you can. And with the snowball method, all you do is you look at your budget and list out what your payments are each and every single month, what your minimum payments are. Then you want to look at if you've got any extra in the course of your month. After you pay all of your bills, do you have any extra money that you can spare that will go towards your debt? Should be you're able to find some money somewhere, even if it's just $20, because that's going to help. And you want to make your minimum payments on your credit cards, but you want to take that $20, that extra, and put it on either the card with the highest interest rate or the lowest balance, whichever you feel, and it will start to make a dent. Now, if you use the lowest balance, of course, you're going to see that account start to get paid off a lot faster. And you see that each and every single month. Once that account is paid off, then you take the money, the extra 20 plus the minimum payment that you were making on that, and you go to another card and you start paying that off. So those are just some ways. So if you're looking at trying to get out of debt, that's something that you may want to consider. Taking out a loan to pay off debt, really, like I said, it's really up to you whether you want to do that, but just keep in mind, it does not take care of the debt that you're trying to pay off, because that debt still is there and you're just replacing it with a new loan. Also, think about if you're going to be doing another loan, what are the terms of that too? So you do have options that are out there, and you want to look at trying to pay those accounts and pay them off, and what time frame you can actually do that in that makes sense to you and your budget. So that snowball method may be something that you want to check out. Again, you can contact the counselor, Family Credit, 800-994-3328 to find out more ways, more information about how to actually go about paying off your debt correctly. So there are a lot of different tips that are out there, a lot of different things that you can do. And if you can avoid a loan, then that's what I'm for. If you can avoid going into further debt, then that's going to be something that works for your budget and is better for you in the long run. So we were talking about, we did talk a lot about equity today and looking at your home, making sure that you have things in order. But sometimes before we can even get to the point where we're working on our home, we have to work on other things to get our house in order, such as our monthly bills, our credit cards, medical bills, student loans. Those things all attack our budget, and sometimes it allows us to fall behind or to feel stressed out, or we don't know what we're going to do about our financial situation. So we want to look at those things up front and make sure that we have everything mapped out and in order. Perfect thing for you to do is look at all of your current expenses, all of your debt, and a good place to start with trying to get that together. You want to review your utilities, but you also want to look at your credit report. And that is such a huge part of getting things together, getting your house in order. Make sure that your credit report is in stellar condition, especially before you try and do anything. You want to know what you're getting yourselves into and that you can afford the payment. If you're looking at paying off your debt, you're looking at tackling those medical bills, most likely they're on your credit report. Also, if you're getting bills each and every single month that are coming into your home too, you may want to open those up, see what you owe, and help put those in the plan as well, because sometimes not everything's reported on a credit report, but we do want to tackle those things on our credit report first. So if you are looking to get your credit report which is the very first place that you will start, you do want to go to annualcreditreport.com to make sure that you get your credit report. Now, there's so many different websites that are out, so many different offers as well about things that you can receive for free, or, trying to get your credit report for free. Your credit report is available for free, so you shouldn't even have to pay for it in the first place. And you can do that by going to annualcreditreport.com. We've got another caller, and then we'll talk a little bit more about your credit. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, I'm about to lose my house. What help is out there for me?
Okay. Well, there is help out there if you are looking to lose your house. And you don't want to lose your house. That's the one thing. Honestly, you need to look at it from two sides. Can you afford to keep it? And what are you going to do if you lose it? So you're thinking about all of those things, but there's help out there for you. First thing that you want to do is, if you fall behind on your mortgage payment, then you do want to reach out to whatever lender you have to see what's available. Now, all lenders, they do have foreclosure prevention or loss mitigation programs. And you can also reach out to a housing counselor as well. So you can reach out and find those resources that are out there. And some things that they will go over with you is what your monthly budget is, what payments can you comfortably afford, what happened to cause you to get behind. And those are some serious, tough questions that need to be answered. And then we can get into what help is actually out there. Again, if you've got some equity built up, then it is possible for you to be able to pull that equity out to help you catch up or to refinance your situation. But you do need to be really, really right at the front end of this thing before you're allowed to refinance, because if your mortgage falls past due, might not be something that you can do right away. What else is out there? Contact, if you're in the city of Chicago, you can dial 311 to get more information about a housing counseling agency. You can look online. You can contact Family Credit and just find out more help. 800-994-3328, and some resources that are available. But there are resources that are out there. So foreclosure prevention is something that you do want to talk to someone about, and talk to it with your lender. Start off with your lender to see if there's something that they can do, because they don't want to see you lose your home either. So if they can help you, they will. Sometimes what they'll do is they'll take your current loan, and if you are behind, they'll look at different ways to reduce your payment. They may take the payments that you have missed or that you're behind on and put them at the end of your loan. They may reduce your interest rate to reduce the monthly payment that you need to be paying out. And then there are some programs that are out there too that will pay towards your mortgage if you are underwater or you need help. So they're out there. You just need to call and find assistance for those. Again, a counselor can help point you in the right direction with all of that information. And sometimes we do need to take a look at our behaviors and what we're doing, those things that we have out there that are stopping us from being able to make that mortgage payment too. Because if you've got your credit card bills that are unsecured and you've got your mortgage that's secured, sometimes we want to think about, hey, I could really, really lose my house, or if it's your car, I could really, really lose my car. So those are bills that I do not want to miss. But I'll try and come up with a plan for the unsecured debt, for the medical bills, for the credit cards. And that's what the counselors are there to help you with. So you do want to reach out if you are experiencing any of those problems, because there is help out there. And then as a last resort, you also want to think about, is bankruptcy something that you should actually be thinking about too? And bankruptcy that's not something that I am recommending. I am not an attorney, but that program is there for a reason as well. And if you are looking for a way out and for some help, you may want to seek legal advice. So again, these solutions are there. They're there for you. And you want to think about what works best for your situation. So talking to a counselor when you have problems, if you are behind on your mortgage, maybe we can free up some money on your credit cards or in your budget that you weren't even thinking about. Maybe there's a way to cut down on your utilities to allow you to be able to make your mortgage payment and to catch things back up as well. And then there may be some organizations that are around that will, like I said, gift you the money to get caught up on your mortgage payments too. So those are out there. Feel free to reach out. If you need more information, more help with your debt, with your finances, coming up with strategies, reach out to Family Credit at 800-994-3328. There are programs in and out of the city, throughout the state, that can help. And if you've got any other questions, feel free to call back again next week. We'll talk to you then. Have a good one.